ReZero Part 2 just got dropped in JP. Well, at least the information did. Which means now it's time to see how exactly these last two characters stack up with the rest of the crossover. Because the first part of the crossover had a lot of controversies, especially when it came to Emilia, clearly designed to be used only in God Ruins. And even the way how Reinhardt was designed in Grand Summoners. Which, by the way, I don't know if the video's out yet, but I do have a video detailing why Reinhardt is extremely good. Even with him not having, I say, the best designed kit for his character, he is actually a very good unit. But the two new characters we have are Demon Rem and Echidna. As you see here, this is the entire kit for Demon Rem. I knew she was going to have some type of damage mitigation because I saw that art put up some type of ice wall in front of her. We also have a true weapon here, which is able to give her 3 arts per second. And in terms of its actual skill effect, it's okay, just more attack, dark res down, it's all right. Now, one thing about this Rem is that it's kind of weird how they designed her just a little bit with the DR in the kit because everything else about her is very offensive heavy. First and foremost, the super art is going to be hitting insanely hard. If you have her at max HP, you get the 200% dark res down, plus you get the 200% attack buff. You get the massive damage buff from your ratio passive. Maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic here, but sure, damage is pretty crazy, and you're probably going to be able to see her deal deeps to stuff that she probably shouldn't be dealing deeps to, especially now with Reinhardt on the scene. You could technically use Reinhardt alongside this unit to supply her with all the arc gauge she needs in the 3-stage fight, so you can focus more on damage buffing equips with her physical items. Is the damage going to be warranted enough to slot her on my team? That's the main thing here. Sure, she's going to probably be able to nuke Crest Palaces all day long. She's going to be able to nuke events all day long. But in-game content, will it really be worth it for me to just put her on my team just cuz? Now, with her being a dark character here, Mono Dark is very good right now. You know, you have Igris, you got Shadow, Sorgon, Luan, like, you know, the list just goes on. There's so many great characters for Dark. So it's possible that she could be insane on that team, you know, really cook up something, especially with the physical res and damage barrier. I don't think there's a unit on their team, apart from Gamagori, of course, that can, you know, protect the team to an extent. So maybe this is the unit they need. Maybe this is the unit they're looking for. But I don't know. I'm not completely sold on her yet. I do like though how this Rem is the complete opposite of the original Rem, because the original Rem was all about consuming her own HP and this one is all about maintaining her own HP. That's kind of a cool little dilemma there, but overall, man, I'm not sold on this. It's up in the air. I don't want to call her bad just yet because the damage is going to be insane. If she has enough damage to just start nuking stuff that she shouldn't have any business of nuking, then she's going to be a very good character. Not somewhat similar to how Uzu was, right? Not to mention, something I forgot about is that if you do use this character maybe alongside Reyes, the new Reyes, getting super crits on this character, she might be one of the hardest hitters in the game. Granted, if you're supplying her with attack and everything else, I could believe it. Possibly see this being one of the strongest DPS units we have. But she's giving herself everything you could possibly want. But now, let's move on to Echidna, which is who I'm kind of excited for because I feel like this is going to be the big support of this crossover. So Echidna is going to be an Earth God. These are her slots right here. And this is her entire kit. And yeah, she's definitely a support character. Her true weapon is going to be able to increase her own max HP, defense, and heal amount, at least passively, and then the active skill is going to be able to reduce the enemy's earth res and damage res. I'm going to be honest, I'm not too against the way how this character is. I am against one thing though, and that is the fact that she has no way of arch shitting in her own kit, at least for herself, apart from her skill, right? Her skill's the only thing that gives her arc gauge. She has nothing passively that helps her arch gen a bit quicker, which does innately make her a whole lot slower. Another thing is that this super art giving only arc gauge and heal is not bad, but it usually gives a bit of something else, you know? Like, I mean, 8% heal is pretty massive. 8 arts per second is pretty massive. Considering this is probably going to be a type E arch generator, kind of a little weird you just didn't tack a tiny bit of a damage buff on that super art. To be honest, just a little bit of something there. As for the rest of the kit, I find it very strange how she's stacking own magic damage. Now, as someone who's only watched like 4 episodes of ReZero, I have not seen Echidna in the show yet, but I have learned that she is the Witch of Greed, which is the reason why this true art is the way it is. However, if I'm thinking of the Witch of Greed and the way how that ordeal is, I'm thinking of someone who's very selfish, who wants everything to themselves. So I just feel like they conflicted with themselves here. You did the true art that's for herself, but then the super art is for everyone. I don't know. It's just weird, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. I think you either gotta pick one or the other. You got this unit going one way and then doing a complete 180 to go the other way. Sure, you get a bit of extra damage, but I feel like you're putting Echidna on the team, not for DPS, but for support more than anything. And yeah, this is very strange. I was expecting her to be a lot more of a offensive support or possibly even a defensive support. What's crazy is that if you actually take a look at part 1, we have another healer. I knew Echidna was going to be a support, but 2 healers in one collab, this has to be a first, right? It just sucks that the first one technically is kind of poo-poo, and the second one is, I would say, a bit better, but the slots kind of just kill her in my opinion. If she got the Reinhardt treatment and everything got buffed up to 5 stars so she could have a 5-star support, I think that would help her case immensely, but I really don't see where you use this character. If you need a healer and you're using a human team, let's say you have Summer Chloe. If you're using a healer and you have gods, I mean, do we have a god healer technically? Let's actually look at that. And yeah, we already have a god healer, which technically she's seasonal, but it's Valentine's Liza. But now we're getting 2 healers added to the god lineup in the same crossover. Now for Mono Earth, this unit might be a bit better. For Mono Earth, they really don't have a big, well actually no wait, I would argue this unit is not better for Mono Earth because you have Shala in JP. Shala gives you the damage ups, she gives you the healing, she gives you the arc gauge. Not to mention she's able to cleanse, poison, burn, and blind, so there's a bit more utility there. Her slots are overall better. Like, oh my god, man, what? The more I look at this character, I had some faith at first, but, you know, digging a bit deeper, I do not know about this one. I'm really struggling to see where you would use this character. That's my main issue. Like, if you already have Shala, I don't think this character is just a unit that is beyond everything that we have. And if anything, maybe this is a character that you use in God Ruins, right? So if you don't have Valentine's Liza, then maybe you can get Echidna and then you have some kind of healer, right? But if you went for Emilia in the first part, I would argue Emilia would be overall better for God Ruins because she has specific status effects in her kit, which are definitely going to be apparent in the God Ruins. If you're brand new and you're watching this and you're playing JP right now, I would argue that the 2 characters I guess you go for from this crossover would probably be Reinhardt and Echidna. I think Echidna's going to be a bit better in just regular team play than someone like Emilia. But let's not forget, Reinhardt may not stack Archgen with this Echidna, so it's possible that they don't stack arts. And if that's the case, that's a very big flaw from this crossover. This is the most mixed I've ever been. If anything, I'm gonna let you guys know now, Reinhardt is the prize of this crossover. As for all the other units, I don't know. I think Rem is going to be a very heavy hitter. She's going to be a hydrogen bomb walking around. But the other 2 units, I'm just so confused with, man. I'm just not sold on these units whatsoever. Either way, though, you guys let me know how you all feel about this crossover down below. You already heard my opinions, how confused and jumbled up they are. I'm just so taken aback by the designs right now. But let me know how you all feel. Maybe you guys can make some sense of it. Maybe you guys are able to tell me something that I'm not seeing yet. Oh, and one thing before y'all leave, don't forget to drink water.